In this video, I'll go over the final practice 1 document that I posted in week 11. So I'm going to take a snapshot of my virtual machine first so that I can revert back if need be. Once the snapshot is taken, I need to do a few things before the scenario should start. That'd be creating some user accounts. So I'm going to log in to the terminal window as root, either through a graphical terminal window or a Control-Alt-F2. Now I can create user accounts. I'll create the bad user account, Joe Bad. I'll set a password for Joe Bad. And then I'll create the archive folder. Don't forget the / in front of archive. That places it in the root directory, not the root home folder. So with those set, I'll clear my screen, and I'm now ready to start the scenario of the junior administrator of the local water department, and administrator is caught distributing illegal stuff. So management asks you to lock his account and store all of his home folder information in a file called evidence.tar.gz. So the first thing, lock the account. passwd-l Joe Bad. So it locks his account. The next, compress his home folder as described above. So GZ is a gzip compression, and tar means, well, there's multiple files in this folder, so we got to put them all into one file and then compress that one file. So we use the tar command and -z to filter it through gzip, and then the C, of course, to create the file, and the V is optional, and F for what file name do we want. Well, it specifies evidence.tar.gz, and then we specify what do we want to compress. Well, we want to compress /home Joe Bad. So this here compresses all of the files. The V shows me all the files that were in his folder that were put into the tar file, and then run through the gzip program and compressed. Now I'm going to move this file, since I created it in my current directory. I'm going to move it to the archive folder. I could have changed the archive folder first and run the compression utility. So either way works, as long as when you look at archive, the file is in there. Now I need to create 3 groups, big, medium, and small. So group add big, medium, small. So group creation is easy. Now I create 3 user accounts. And you need the primary group set, so that's going to be the little g. So Geeko needs to be primary group big. And then I need other groups assigned to them, so that is a big G. And then groups separated by commas. Medium, comma, small. And then the user account name. Same thing for Zach. He needs to be in the users for the primary group, and he only needs to be in one other group. That would be small. And Smith needs to be in the primary group medium, and other groups small. Now probably on the regular exam I'll have you create passwords for each one of those. I didn't have that listed in this practice. If you wanted to, you could set secret123 as the password for all 3 accounts. So it's just passwd space and the user account name. So you could do that if you wanted to. Now I need to create 5 directories under water called credit, supplies, meters, pipes, and public. So I'm going to use mkdir, and I'm going to use it with the -p switch, so I can create all parent directories. So I can put /water /supplies /meters, since that is the deepest directory. The -p switch is also going to create all the parent directories. So it's mkdir without the -p would say, okay, go into water, go into supplies, create the meters directory. Well, they don't exist, water and supplies. So -p says go ahead and create them. So that makes things a little bit faster. So now, since water exists and supplies exist, I could create pipes inside of it. And then underneath water, I can create the credit directory. And underneath water, I can create the public directory. Next, set permissions on these. I'll change into water folder. I'll look at the owners and see they are not set correctly. So they want Geeko. He was created with a capital G. And the group big set for credit. They want Smith, and the group medium set for supplies. Now supplies had subfolders, so I'm going to add a -R there to recursively set on all subfolders. And then they want Zach and the group small to be placed on public. So we'll look at those, and I'll also look at the supplies and make sure that the 2 subfolders underneath supplies have the correct username and password, or the correct username and group set on them. Now we need to go into the credit directory. I'm already in water, so I'll have to do a cd space credit and create the invoice. Hit I on the keyboard to go in insert mode and put in the invoices for the water department. And then of course hit escape and type :WQ to write and quit. I'm going to look at the file. I noticed that the ownership is not set correctly because I created this as root instead of the Geeko account. It says make sure that the groups and user account ownership are set the same as the directory. So I will go ahead and make that change and make sure that the owner and group are set the same as the credit directory was. Now the permissions need to be read, write, read, and no permission. So I have read, write, read, and read. So I need to take off that last. So chmod to change to mode line. Read and execute is 4 and 2 put together, so that's a 6. The next number would be for a group. And they need to have read, and other people, as the last one, needs to have no permission. So I'll set that on invoice. And now that last R has been taken away. I need to go into the public directory and create Handbook. And put in the handbook information. Of course, I'll hit escape, :WQ to write and quit. I'll double check the parent directory is Zach and Small was set on it, so I need to update the ownership of Handbook. So Handbook is now correct. The needs to have read write, read, and read, so it's already set. I don't need to make any changes. I need to copy the files to the archive folder, so I'm going to change to the archive folder, and I'm going to copy under water, credit, the invoice file here. I'm going to copy underneath water, and it was public handbook, and copy it here. So there's the two files and the evidence file inside of the archive folder. Create a symbolic link in the supplies directory. So all I'll have is the subfolders there. And create a symbolic link to the handbook folder. You could use a relative or absolute path. I'll use an absolute path just for this example, and I'll say create the link here, putting a period at the end. So I did go to the folder the link needed to be created, and then run the ln-s command with the location of the real file. And I see that it is cyan in color and points to the correct real file. Now to set aliases, the Geeko account, I need to change into Geeko's home folder. So cd space home / Geeko. I need to edit the hidden bash rc file. So vi space .bash rc, the dot because it's hidden. I go down here on the last line where it says user specific aliases and functions. I go to the very end and hit enter, and I'll create the aliases. So they want CLS to clear the screen. So what clears the screen in Linux? The command clear. And they want the alias of move to move files. So the move file command in Linux is mv. And copy, they want it to run the copy command in Unix and Linux. So the Unix Linux command is cp. So those are set. I hit escape, :WQ. Now I can test out those by typing in su -space Geeko. That loads his RC file and profile into RAM. Notice it also put me in his home directory. I can try if CLS works, the aliases are done correctly. So CLS works. I'm going to exit back out of his account. And the last three here, df-h shows the root directory as 23 or 24 gig available on my system. And directory usage-hs/home shows me there are 74 megabytes of files within the home directory.